Hey folks, and then now, welcome to the vocabulary lesson. And now we're up to 132. 132 vocabulary lesson. And then now, sorry. So now we're going to be talking about diabetes, diabetic, and lactose intolerant and lactose. So here we go. Let's get it started. All right, so diabetes is a disease in which the body cannot control the level of sugar in the blood. Diabetes is diagnosed with a blood test. He had developed diabetes and high blood pressure. Gestational, adult onset, juvenile diabetes. More examples. Diabetes affects 100 million people worldwide. Controlling your consumption of carbohydrates is an important part of managing your diabetes. Risk factors for heart disease include high blood pressure, high blood cholesterol, smoking, obesity, and diabetes. Diabetes is a disease in which body cannot control the amount of sugar in the blood. Diabetes is also called diabetes mellitus, mellitus, a group of diseases that result in too much sugar in the blood. High blood glucose. Most common types. Type 2 diabetes, a chronic condition that affects the way the body processes blood sugar, glucose. Type 1 diabetes, a chronic condition in which the pancreas produces little or no insulin. Prediabetes, a condition in which blood sugar is high, but not high enough to be type 2 diabetes. Diabetes means when you can't have too much sugar. I know somebody that has diabetes. Diabetes is a medical condition in which it is harder for the body to make insulin. Diabetes means high sugar in the blood. My mom has high blood sugar. Diabetes is when you have too much sugar in your blood. Diabetes is sometimes hereditary, like Heriderity. Don't know what that is. Heriderity. Okay. And here, next one is diabetes means a disease that makes the body hard to produce or respond to insulin. Diabetes is a bad disease that my grandma had. Diabetes, a group of diseases that result in too much sugar in the blood. High blood glucose. She has to bring insulin with her because she has diabetes. How to lose weight with diabetes. Diabetes is a chronic disease that occurs when the pancreas is no longer able to make insulin or when the body cannot make good use of the insulin it produces. Insulin is a hormone made by the pancreas that acts like a key to let glucose from the food we eat pass from the bloodstream and to the cells in the body to produce energy. All carbohydrate foods are broken down into glucose in the blood. Insulin helps glucose get into the cells. Not being able to produce insulin or use it effectively leads to raised glucose levels in the blood, known as hyperglycemia. Hyperglycemia. No. CAEMIA. Over the long term, high glucose levels are associated with damage to the body and failure of various organs and tissues. Types of diabetes. There are three main types of diabetes: type 1, type 2, and gestational. Gestational. Type 1 diabetes can develop at any age, but occurs most frequently in children and adolescents. When you have type 1 diabetes, your body produces very little or no insulin, which means that you need daily insulin injections to maintain blood glucose levels under control. Learn more. Gestational diabetes, GDM, is a type of diabetes that consists of high blood glucose during pregnancy and is associated with complications to both mother and child. GDM usually disappears after pregnancy, but women affected and their children are at increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes later in life. Diabetic. If you are diabetic, you can consult your doctor. So, diabetic is diabetes. Diabetes is a medical condition in which someone has too much sugar in their blood. Diabetes is any of various diseases characterized by an excessive discharge of urine, especially diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus. 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 That word sounds kind of new to me. Diabetes is a noun. Diabetic is an adjective and a noun of a person having diabetes, a person who has diabetes. Diabetes is a noun. Any of various abnormal conditions characterized by the secretion secretion and excretion of excessive amounts of urine, especially diabetes mellitus. Whatever. Diabetic means someone who has diabetes or an insulin problem. She is a diabetic. Diabetic, the condition of having diabetes, he slipped into a diabetic coma and died. Wow. Diabetic means is when you have diabetes. My grandma is in diabetic, which means she can't have too much sugar when she is allergic to something. He is diabetic with diabetes. He cannot have sugar because he is diabetic. No alcohol, no soda, but diet soda is okay. The white bread is no good because it has carbs and sugar, because it all turns into sugar. If you're diabetic, you can check your blood sugar. Put it in a glycemic machine. Put it in a glycemic machine. Glycemic. You want your sugar to be 100 to 120. That's strange. I am diabetic, so I can't eat things with sugar. If you are diabetic, you need to follow a regimen, regime, in taking insulin. Diabetic means if someone is sick with sugar. Sasha needs to do a shot of insulin because she is diabetic. Diabetic is when you have diabetes. Diabetic, of or relating to diabetes or diabetics. Affected with diabetes, occurring in or caused by diabetes. Diabetic coma, suitable for diabetics. Diabetic food. Diabetic is when a person affected with diabetes. Diabetic, of relating to or having diabetes. A diabetic person. Diabetic is when a person who has diabetes. Some of the earliest direct benefits could be for people at risk for diabetes or who have trouble regulating their blood glucose levels. It's been awarded the best diet plan for diabetes and heart health and the easiest diet to follow. The antibodies for diabetes can be present for years, but clinical T1D isn't detected until people develop symptoms such as feeling tired and thirsty, urinating frequently, and losing weight. And then next, we're going to be talking about lactose intolerant. Partial or total. Okay, it's lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerance. Okay, so partial or total inability to digest lactose, which may result in abdominal pain, bloating, and diarrhea after consuming milk and other dairy products. No. Other dairy products. Not diary, dairy products, and is caused by deficiency of the enzyme lactase. Wow. Lactase. That's so new. Overview. People with lactose intolerance are unable to fully digest the sugar, lactose, in milk. As a result, they have diarrhea, gas, and bloating after eating or drinking dairy products. The condition, which is also called lactose malabsorption, is usually harmless, but its symptoms can be uncomfortable. Now, the movie, which is The Barbershop, the second one, The Barbershop, Back in Business, made in 2004. So Eddie was just talking to this random guy on the train, and Eddie says, "That aroma is kind of getting. That aroma is kind of getting to me. What kind of coffee is that?" And random guy says, "It's not a coffee. It's a chai with soy." "Okay, so it's herbal?" "Yeah, it's herbal. You must be a lot like me, huh? You lactose intolerant." "Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant. I go near a cow and my behind blow up like Dizzy and Gillespie. Gillespie. Downright flatulent. Downright flatulent. FLATULENT. Eddie says, and the smell, man, the smell that come out of there, it's so bad. Sometimes I have to set myself outside. And then random guy says, "I'm not lactose intolerant, all right? I have a very healthy metabolism." Eddie says, I try to have some of them little bitty Milky Ways. The small one, I ate 2 of them at a party one night, and man, it just got pa, 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 pa. I just couldn't control it. It was the lactose intoleration. And then another movie called Crazy Rich Asians that was made in 2018. And then the old Chinese lady says, bringing a girl all the way there to meet them can mean a lot to these overseas families. They're different from us. Rachel says, how are they different? They're Chinese. I'm Chinese. I'm so Chinese. I'm an economics professor with lactose intolerance. The old Chinese lady says, yeah, but you grew up here. And then the old Chinese lady was speaking Mandarin. And the English subtitle says, your face is Chinese. You speak Chinese, but here and here. And then the last part spoke English. It says, you're different. If you're lactose intolerant, it means you can't eat anything with dairy, milk in it. Brandon's friend was lactose intolerant, so he couldn't eat the cheese slices. It's when the body cannot digest dairy. I can't have ice cream. I'm lactose intolerant. Lactose intolerance means that a person cannot tolerate milk or any foods with milk in it. Lactose intolerant means you can't eat anything dairy. I can't eat ice cream because I am lactose intolerant. Lactose intolerance means having a health issue and or allergic reaction to any dairy products. The boy couldn't drink milk because of his lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerant is an allergy to dairy product, cheese, milk, pizza, ice cream, butter, sour cream. Lisa is lactose intolerant, which is she can't have milk, pizza, cheese, cereal, because the pizza and cheese adds with milk. Lactose intolerant is when the dairy products makes you go to the bathroom bad. I am lactose intolerant means when you are allergic to any other foods. Lactose intolerant means you can't eat anything with milk or dairy. Lactose intolerant means you can't eat anything with milk or dairy. And again, lactose intolerant means you can't eat anything with milk or dairy. Lactose intolerant means you can't eat anything with milk or dairy. And again, lactose intolerant means you can't eat anything with milk or dairy. And again, lactose intolerant means you can't eat anything with milk or dairy. One last time. Lactose intolerant means you can't eat anything with milk or dairy. My friend is lactose intolerant. Too little of an enzyme produced in your small intestine. Lactose is usually responsible for lactose intolerance. You can have low levels of lactose and still be able to digest milk products, but if your levels are too low, you become lactose intolerant, leading to symptoms after you eat or drink dairy. Most people with lactose intolerance can manage the condition without having to give up all dairy foods. The symptoms. I'm going to explain. The signs and symptoms of lactose intolerance usually begin from 30 minutes to 2 hours after eating or drinking foods that contain lactose. Common signs and symptoms include diarrhea, nausea and sometimes vomiting. 3, stomach cramps. Number 4, bloating. Number 5, gas. And that's it. And then, so we're going to be talking about lactose. Lactose is a sugar present in milk. It is a disaccharide, disaccharide, don't know, containing glucose and galactose units. A disaccharide sugar, 12H22, don't know, 11, that is present in milk and yields glucose and galactose upon hydrolysis and yields, especially lactic acid upon fermentation. A sugar present in milk that breaks down to give glucose and galactose and on fermentation gives especially lactic acid, called also milk sugar. A disaccharide sugar, disaccharide, 12H22, big 0 and 11. That is present in milk, yields glucose and galactose. Upon hydrolysis, yields especially lactic acid upon fermentation, and is used chiefly in foods, medicines, and culture media as for the manufacture of the penicillin, called also milk sugar. Penicillin, penicillin. Lactose is a sugar found in milk and milk products. Besides being an important part of milk itself, lactose is a valuable byproduct in the manufacture of cheese. Lactose is the sugar in milk. The boy had an allergic reaction to the lactose in the milk. Lactose is milk that comes from a cow. 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 One last time. Lactose is milk that comes from a cow. Lactose means you can't eat dairy. I can't eat or drink dairy because I am lactose. Lactose means that a person may not be able to tolerate milk. Lactose means that a person may not be able to tolerate milk. He is allergic to milk. Lactose is in milk. It's in milk product. Lactose means a dairy. I am lactose intolerant, meaning I can't eat dairy. I am lactose intolerant, meaning I can't eat dairy. Lactose is in milk. Lactose is in milk. Okay? Lactose is in milk. Lactose is milk. And then lactose, okay, I am lactose intolerant, meaning I can't eat dairy. I am lactose intolerant, meaning I can't eat dairy. So here we go. What lactose does to your body. What is lactose and why is it in milk? Lactose is the natural sugar in milk and other dairy foods made from milk like yogurt and ice cream that forms when two other sugars, glucose and galactose, join together. For the body to digest lactose, it uses a natural enzyme called lactase to break lactose down into these two sugars. All right, folks, that's it. The lesson is over. Hope you guys enjoy the lesson.